Excelsior! So I'm going to read Ultraforce number 0. So this was published in September of 1994, originally in 2 parts, 0A and 0B, but I'm going to just read the whole issue. So Ultraforce, from the Ultraverse, Jones, Perez, Vey. And here's the second cover. So it was in Wizard Comics, or Wizard Magazine this was published in. It is night in the fields of the dead, silent, but for the intrusion of some teenage life forces raging a little too loud. Come on, Sherry, come on.
Ryan, we're outdoors.
Ryan. Ha 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 ha.
Nobody can see us here. Come on.
Wait, Ryan, did you hear something? It was coming from that grave.
Ryan, don't leave me. Oh, please. Oh, please. Oh, please. Oh! Oh, God. Oh, God, please.
Hey, you know where I can find a newspaper?
And in the rational light of morning, on the quiet streets of Hollywood,
Give us the Ultra!
don't you get it? He's beaten death.
He's an abomination! He is Satan's too!
No, he's a miracle. Stop the insanity. Kill all the Ultras.
The Ultras have the power. The Ultras are the answer.
Ultra Madness. Gerard Jones, writer. George Perez, penciler. Al Vey, inker. Patrick Owsley, letterer. Tim DeVar, color guides. Violent Hues, interior color. Chris Holm and Hank Canals, editors.
Get your hooks off me. You loons want answers. Don't look for 'em in me. Just tell 'em what happened to my friends. You camera-slinging jackals. What happened to the exiles?
Is it true you came back from the dead?
Are you an Ultra? What do you think of mankind's reaction to...
Do you think I give a damn about mankind after what mankind did to me?
You heard him! Ultras don't give a damn about us!
We gotta get them first!
If you have a problem with Ultras, take it up with me.
Hardcase!
As the most visible Ultra, do you feel Ultras should be feared or worshipped? Hold it.
What about the accountability of corporate-sponsored Ultras like Prototype?
I'm not...
How do we contain an out-of-control vigilante like Prime?
Listen.
Were Ultras behind this morning's attack on the Naval Weapons Station? What does it mean to humanity if this Ultra really returned from the...
Cut it! I'm just an actor with Ultra powers, as you people call them. Most Ultras are trying to do the right thing, but we're not accountable for each other.
Damn Skippy we ate.
Then who is? Should the government regulate Ultras?
The government? They can try.
Ultras again. What's happening? 2 years ago we never had anything like this. And now they're everywhere.
Shh! There are too many of us with too much power and too many different personalities.
I wish you wouldn't admire them, Kevin. I know some of them act heroically, but we know so little about them. It's terrifying to think they're... Mom, shh!
The only ones who could possibly regulate Ultras are Ultras.
Are there any plans for the Ultras to do that?
It would never work. And if anyone tried, I'd never be part of it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have somebody to rescue.
Hardcase, wait! He's taking the dead guy!
It would never work?
What, honey?
Nothing.
Well, if you ever see an Ultra, Kevin, you just run the other way. Especially with that horrible Prime. He not only sounds like a dangerous lunatic, but he's been seen in this area.
A gang of heroes together, showing the government that they don't have to come after Ultras.
And even if they did, there's no way they could beat Ultras united. There's another reason to think about moving. Hardcase used to be my hero when he was in the squad. Ever since then, he hasn't teamed up with anybody. I could show him he's wrong. Ultras can work together. They can. They can.
Oh, jeez! My chest! I got too excited! I gotta go, Mom! I'll be late for homeroom!
But Kevin, your lunch!
Gotta get behind the bushes before... Made it. Now I can show the world what Ultras can really do. When their leader is Prime. Why'd you tell those idiots that I'm gonna help you investigate that naval weapons station? If you think I care about... Save it. I know. But you'll catch a lot less heat if the public thinks you're working on something else that's got them scared. There's a mood in this country. I seen it in that nervous flicker in the eyes of my almost adoring public. Hear it in Bill Clinton's voice when he says, "I hope you Ultras will continue to serve the interests of mankind as you have." Feel it in the shadows of the Aladdin agents that are always falling across my back. They're afraid with good reason, but they're hoping for a sign that we're on their side, that we'll be their saviors. Well, I got 3 words for them. Dream on, chumps. I just want to know if my friend survived. You're Ghoul from the Exiles, right? I wish I had good news for you. But I heard your whole group was killed, except for one in a coma, and one who went insane and disappeared. God, my friends. I been there. The squad were the first to play Ultra heroes. Now they're all dead, except me. And the woman I loved, who hasn't been conscious for over a year. And the media ask me why I don't want to team up with other Ultras. I was kidnapped by a normal Hollywood exec named Malcolm Court. He sliced me to pieces trying to figure out how I worked. I got blown to bits and dumped in a grave, and I had to lie there for weeks while I pulled myself together into the vision of beauty in your meaty arms. Don't worry, you'll get used to the smell. I doubt it. Right. And you say Mr. and Mrs. Normal want a savior? Remind me to give them my 800 number. Your choice. I'm going to look around here. It's bad news for us. And Mr. and Mrs. Normal, if Ultras are attacking the military. I'm going to find the ruins of the PX. Maybe I can rescue a carton of cigs.
Now this is intriguing. I came to investigate signs of an uprising by Ultras from beneath the earth, something I have a very personal interest in. And what do I find? Another alienated young person with powers. Perhaps you and he might have something in common. Pix?
We sure do. He happens to bear a startling resemblance to my worst friggin' nightmare. Do you have barf bags on this ship?
Don't be so superficial, dear. This is just the sort of youngster who most needs the tender hand of contrary. You will help me persuade him to leave this world and join my special school.
As seen in Freaks numbers 10 and 11, ULM.
Well, whoever did this place was no slouch. If I had the power like that, court would have never...
Moderators!
What the...
You did this! Ultras did this! Give him back to me! Give me back my Frank!
What's going on here?
She wants her Frank.
I didn't know anybody was killed in this.
You knew!
We were going to be married! And then the Ultras came. Frank saw them. He tried to stop them. And he died.
Ma'am, we don't know what happened, but we're here to help. If you have any idea what he saw...
Why make the poor lady talk? Let's just ask Frank.
What's he doing?
I don't know, but I think it'll be okay.
Hello, Frank. You in there? Yeah, I got you. You died scared, didn't you, Frank? Fear always makes the after impression so vivid. I know the peace ends the fear, Frank, but I've got to disturb your peace for a minute. Sorry. Ultras.
Frank!
You can't touch him, ma'am.
But he's alive!
No, ma'am. I don't think so.
Huge ultras. So horrible. The warheads. I have to see the ultras, Frank. I have to bring out an image. Yes, it's him. He called himself Adelon. He came from the fires beneath the earth to steal our nuclear warheads.
Continued in next month's Wizard, The Adventures of Hardcase Prime, and all the Ultras appear every month in the Ultraverse from Malibu Comics. Here's the third cover for Ultraforce. And on TV sets everywhere.
This is Prime, and I've got a prime-time message for the world. You people say you're afraid of Ultras? You think nobody can control us? Like we're kids who are gonna mess everything up? Hardcase says only Ultras can control Ultras, but he says it won't work. Prime's gonna show you, Hardcase. Prime's gonna show everybody. I'm challenging all Ultras to join me in a new police force. By Ultras, for Ultras. Ultraforce!
Gerard Jones, writer. George Perez, penciler. Alvey, inker. Patrick Owlsley, letterer. Tim DeVar, color designer. Violent Hughes, interior colorists. Chris Ulm and Hank Canals, editors. Special thanks to Mike Macklin and Josh Statema. In a flying ship above L.A.,
a class action suit filed against the former Exiles leader for the tidal wave that devastated Malibu and the countless of Moon Madness deaths.
In San Francisco, fear of the freaks has compounded ultraphobia and inspired vigilante groups like the Night Patrol. Cults reported worshipping Amber Hunt, the teenager whose presence in the sky drove thousands to throw themselves from skyscrapers. As if gangster fashions weren't bad enough, teens are adopting the Prime look
and rumors are flying of a line of strangers' gear.
Every channel, every hour. Ultras, ultras.
And authorities are looking for contrary head of a mysterious school for ultras.
No! It's impossible! How can they know about...
I couldn't resist. You should have. Should have seen your. Ow! What'd you do that for?
To teach you, Pix, what I teach all my students. What all ultras must learn. That your power is not to be used lightly. Save your mental projections for when you need them. But I'm sorry I used the pain pulse, dear. Let me make it better.
Ooh.
Feel better?
Yeah, but, geez, I'm not sure I want to feel that good.
Now, if you're finished playing, maybe you'd like to glance at the screen you're supposed to be watching.
Yow! The Marines! They're after Ghoul. He talked to my Frank. He raised him from the dead. Make him bring him back.
I don't know what's going on here, but if that thing makes a move...
You what? Kill me? You'll torture me and cut me to pieces and dump me in a grave? I got news for you, jerkface. I've been there. This thing has taken everything you normals can dish out. And if Malcolm Court couldn't kill me, what can you do? Stay back or we shoot! You've been warned! Fire!
No. Forgive my friend. He's a little impetuous.
Hardcase!
Oh man, can I get your autograph?
We didn't know he was with you, Hardcase, and I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt. But this base was attacked this morning by ultras, we think. And if you know anything, I do. And I'll tell you whatever you want, as long as I don't have to get into any more government bull. In a suburban backyard.
Stay back, or...
Mantra! Wait! It's me! It's Prime!
Prime, you've changed your look.
So have you! And it looks really hot.
I'm afraid so. Prime, I really don't have time to discuss fashion.
But this is important. I want you to join my new group, Ultraforce. We're gonna show the world that ultras can work together and...
I'm not interested.
But I thought you and we were friends.
Maybe we are, Kevin. But I don't have time to join some club just because a little boy wants me to.
I'm not Kevin. I'm not a little boy. I'm Prime.
You're still a little boy to me, kid.
I'll show you. You'll see.
Looks like I hurt his feelings. Good. He was good to have at my back in a fight. But it looked like he was developing a crush on me. On this body. And there's no place that could go. Since inside, I'm as male as he is.
Little boy. Like because I'm 13, I must be saying something stupid? It's the same thing I've been getting everywhere. Even with the ultras. Adults just don't get it. The freaks would understand. But they're under the earth, hunting those monsters that attacked the Navy base.
See Giant Size Freaks number 1 and Freaks number 12. Guest starring Prime. ULM.
Zip Zap might get it, but the grown-ups and the strangers would just be a pain. There's gotta be somebody else. Yeah! There is! He's a jerk, but he's not that much older than me. And he's the second baddest roughneck of all the ultras. After me, of course. That's where I'm going.
You rescued me? Now they're going to think I have something to hide.
You do. Whatever you've learned about the attack from underground that destroyed their base, that's of interest to Ultras, not to them.
That's a dangerous attitude, friend. Who are you?
Call me Contrary.
Stop staring at me.
I run a secluded school to teach young Ultras to work with their own kind, and their own powers.
Great. Secret schools for Ultras. Just what the world needs to freak out even more.
Stop it, stop it, stop it!
I'd advise you to go public. Reassure people that somebody's taking responsibility for new Ultras.
You don't think they'll be reassured by Prime and his Ultraforce?
His what?
Damn it, stop staring at me!
I don't have any eyelids. What do you want me to do, wink?
He said it was your idea. A police force by Ultras, for Ultras. He's off recruiting members now. What's the trouble, Mr. Hawk? You look a bit uncomfortable.
He's the most powerful of us all, and the most erratic. Lately, he's been acting like some ultra-powered Axl Rose. If he's going to calm the world's nerves, he better start showing some self-control. In old New York? Okay, sound on, camera on.
Okay, Prototype, get in position. Go! Make it count, Jimmy. We've only got the budget for one copter.
Don't worry about me, Leland. Consider this commercial finished.
Hey! What's the big idea? I just came to talk.
This is the second time you screwed up a shoot for me, chump. It's gonna be the last.
Forget your stupid commercial. This is important. It's about Ultraforce.
You don't think my job's important? You stupid son of a...
Jimmy!
Calm down, Jimmy. Listen to him. I'll listen to him. Screaming for his... Listen to him, damn it!
This Ultraforce idea is all over the news. I smell publicity.
You smell. Period, Leland. But I'll listen.
Are you psycho? Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to you, girlie. What's this Ultraforce?
It's a team. The world's best Ultras. Together. We tell the world to back off and let us handle Ultra stuff. Then we lay down the line on what an Ultra can do and can't.
And if any Ultra thinks he's big enough to cross that line...
we cut his butt down to size. Like it?
Love it.
Figured you would.
In fact, I like it so much, I'm gonna start recruiting members right now.
You're gonna start... Wait a minute, it was my idea.
So, you gotten the patent on it?
Jimmy, you're finally learning. Prototype is the leader of Ultraforce. This could be my biggest PR coup yet. So for Hardcase first, I can use the Hollywood contact. Sweeten the deal. Ultratech will supply a high-tech secret headquarters. Jets with the Ultraforce logo. Uh-oh. Jimmy, watch your back!
Nobody steals Prime's ideas. Ultraforce is my team.
Apparently a dispute over the leadership of Ultraforce. The battle continues, endangering lives and damaging, has both the public and politicians asking if Ultras are finally just out of control. Even though anti-Ultra rallies are springing up spontaneously across the country, demanding action. Questions about Hardcase's disappearance from the Los Alamitos weapons station.
Apparently inspired by a remark made by Hardcase. Prime. Prototype. Self-control? What the hell was I thinking of? They just made it all 10 times worse.
But such power. They need instruction. They need me. Take us to New York, Pix.
You got it.
Count us out. We're going to straighten out this mess. Come on, Ghoul.
Speak for yourself, pretty boy. I don't give a damn what normals think of me. I think I'm gonna find the other exiles a lot quicker by sticking with these babes than with you.
No, leave.
It's your funeral. Now stop this thing and let me out.
I'm sorry. The trajectory's been programmed.
Yeah? Too bad.
Sometimes, dear boy, brute force just isn't the answer. Sometimes you need a magic word. Try, please. But before you go, don't you want to know what they're saying about you?
Hardcase made the remarks after rescuing Ghoul from a frenzied crowd. Is there a connection? We asked Ultra Magazine's Al Baker.
You bet there's a connection. Hardcase is the original Ultra, and the most respected. If he's conspiring against us, the others will.
Baker, you slime peddler! This can't get any worse.
Want to put money on that? We've been trying to track whoever's been attacking those military bases. Whoever it is causes weird blips in the Earth's gravity when he comes up from underground. Well, I just got another blip, and the Air Force just lost a base.
With each new strike, a stockpile of weapons grows. With each new strike, we bring this world closer to its fate. And it is only right, for this world now shows that it breeds no one with the power, the mind, and the spirit to stop Atalon!
Only from Malibu Comics. To be continued in Ultraforce #1. Ultraforce. Enter Ultraforce. I'm a nut for team books. It started with the first comic book I ever read, Fantastic Four Annual #1 by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. I loved the interplay between these superhuman characters, with feet of clay, the sarcastic banter, the disguised affection, the all-out action, the fantastic settings and bizarre villains. Others followed. First the Avengers, then the Defenders, then the Justice League. Remember those great crossovers with the Justice Society? And so it went. One new book after another. From the Legion of Superheroes to John Byrne's Next Men. I've read them all. And Ultraforce is the best of the lot. Okay, I'm prejudiced. I admit it, but Ultraforce is the team book I always wanted to read myself. It's good to be the editor-in-chief. Consider the creative team. Writer Gerard Jones has scripted his fair share of team books, including Free-X, and Justice League Europe, Justice League International, and the Justice League of America. George Perez, the originator of the More Characters is Better School of Fine Artwork, has penciled more team books than I can count, including some of the best ever issues of the Teen Titans, the Avengers, and the Crisis on Infinite Earths. Al Vey, Anchor Extraordinaire, matches the fine detail of George's work perfectly. See the Ultraverse breakthrough crossover. Lastly, rounding out the team is the matchless lettering of Patrick Owsley and the incredible rendered hues of our Malibu coloring team, who, armed only with their Macintosh Quadras, create the comic book equivalent of rainbows every day. The Ultraforce lineup is strange, to say the least. Prime, a 13-year-old boy in the body of the strongest ultrahuman on the planet. Hardcase, a movie star turned hero, who has already lived through the destruction of his first team. Prototype, armored corporate warrior with everything to prove. Contrary, beautiful mistress of pleasure and pain, with her own mysterious agenda. Ghoul, rising from the dead is the least of his problems. Topaz, warrior women from a realm where males and females are strictly segregated. Pix, perhaps the bravest of all. As Gerard Jones explains it, I wanted a diverse group of characters whose proximity to each other would set off sparks, and to pull together thematic content from every corner of the Ultraverse. Congratulations, Jerry. You succeeded. Ultraforce is the unlikeliest group in the Ultraverse. Each one has their own conception of what the mission of Ultraforce is. But somehow, they are able to forge a new kind of team that is greater than the sum of its parts. A force of ultrahumans dedicated to protecting mankind from other ultras. An Ultraforce. Enjoy. Chris Ulm, Editor-in-Chief. So here's Ultraforce number 1, which is on sale September 1994. And Ultraforce number 2, October 1994. Ultraforce number 3, which is November. And Ultraforce number 4, which is December. And Ultra Files. Chris Ulm caricature by Patrick Owsley. Caricature coloring by Deborah Pearson. Dark Future. The nightmare started with a mob scene. Pressed behind the velvet rope, separating them from the doorway of the last comic shop on Earth, the crowd was made up of the best and brightest of the comic book industry. Writers, artists, letterers. Joining them were former publishers, ex-distributors, and even a smattering of tearful, retired editors. The crowd of ex-comic book professionals jostled and elbowed each other, unmercifully in the dry California heat, to get a better view of the doorway. Behind the cash register, wearing looks of haunted expectation, were the only working professionals in comics, the creative team of the last comic book published in the world. Placed under a museum-quality bulletproof glass case, framed by a blazing neon display, the book weighted at about 32 pages, with a diamond-studded interactive multimedia quadraphonic stereo cover, which contained within its microprocessor-controlled imaging system an infinite number of variants. A fully animated, air-conditioned, full-color interior, no ads, and a very unique letters page, with an entreaty to one very special individual. Then the whispers started, traveling through the crowd like electric current. "He's here! He's here!" Holovision cameras whirred, microphones snaked out, and satellites in near-Earth orbit began transmitting images of the scene to the world's billions. The last comic book fan on Earth had arrived. Melvin J. Gaismere, oblivious to the cameras, strode into the store like the king he was. Melvin had been collecting comics for the last 20 years. While others dropped out, he had continued to purchase multiple copies of everything, buying variants, foil editions, signed and limited first issues, rubber-stamped, coupon-laden, foil-stamped comics of every stripe. Perhaps someday he would actually read one of them. Publishers grew dependent on his tastes, and created comics especially for him. Soon the number of comics and variants became too difficult to follow. Prices rose, and one by one readers abandoned comics in favor of other entertainment. Melvin's level of importance grew as the number of readers shrank, until there was only one publisher, the publisher that knew what Melvin wanted. Melvin glanced around the empty shelves
which lined the store's interior, ignoring the expectant faces of the crowd. The Welcome Melvin banner across the rear wall of the store and the red carpet under his feet. He only had eyes for the gorgeous product under glass, the ultimate collectible, the comic book that had been designed for him and him alone. A comic book with a hyper limited print run of one solitary copy. Melvin's eyes alighted on the price, $20,000, twice what he had paid for the lead foil radioactive issue with the exclusive plutonium varnish trading card he had bought the previous month. Shaking his head, Melvin walked away, the light from the flashing display playing across his back in ever more desperate patterns.
It's just not that interesting anymore,
he said to the shocked crowd, and walked out, leaving the last comic book on Earth to languish in its climate-controlled housing. Then I woke up. Leaping to my feet, I paced the small confines of my bedroom. What the heck did this all mean? Was it just a case of too many cheese doodles before bed? Suddenly, it hit me. This nightmare is a warning. Today, the business of publishing comic books is at a crossroads. Promotions, marketing, and enhancements have become more important than stories, characters, and creators. If this doesn't change, comic books will become nothing more than 4-color certificate of deposit. Ultimately, the fate of our field is in your hands. Buy what you like to read. Buy comics that excite you, ones that open up new vistas of imagination. Hunt out creators that you like, even if you end up going to a couple of stores to find the book you want. Follow only the characters that you really enjoy, and tell other people about them. Or only Melvin will still be collecting. It says, Ask Diane. Dear Diane, I am really interested in your new series, Ultraforce. I also like the new Prime. I have a few questions I would like to ask. Who are the 3 Ultraforce women? What are their powers? Are you going to make a movie about Ultraverse? I also think you should make a video game with lots of Ultraverse characters in it. Hadley Leavat, Rye, New York.
Dear Hadley, the 3 women in Ultraforce are Contrary, who has the ability to induce pleasure or pain, Pix, who has the power to create illusions, and Topaz, who has enchants, strength, and stamina. I can't believe you missed Firearm number 0. It is Ultraverse's hottest live-action 30-minute film and the introduction to the Firearm number 0 comic. The video and the comic are packaged together and were released in the spring. Check your local retailer. As for video games, I must say we are on top of that also. In early December, just in time for Christmas, both Prime and The Strangers debut from Sony on Sega CD. In '95, look for Firearm in March, and many other exciting game titles that are soon to be announced. Thanks for writing, Diane.
The Founding Fathers of the Ultraverse. Mike W. Barr, Steve Englehart, Steve Gerber, James D. Hudnall, Gerard Jones, Larry Niven, James Robinson, Len Strazowski. For Malibu Comics, Dan Danko, Tom Mason, Tom Ulbrich, Scott Rosenberg, Chris Olm. Special thanks to the talented colorists of Food Hammer and Violent Hues, Alex Alvarez, Derek Bellman, Kim Bitsu, Shahid Brown, Scott Kadanek, Roberta Conroy, Charlene Gartner, Carlos Guevara, Judy Hazobuchi, Ismail Hernandez, Lucy Kozozian, Salvador Mancha, Tobiatha Martin, Sean Martinez, Eddie Moses, Yvonne Najera, Deborah Pearson, Kim Petition, Nathan Potvin, Carlos Ramirez, Sherry Robbenbacher, Jackie Roma, Serena Sahakian, Dan Santiago, Suella Springfield, Andy Walton, Christy Wanderer, Janice Wismar, Ruth Yash Arpour, and Emily Yoder. And Ultraverse Year 1 Number 1, the official handbook of the Ultraverse, taken exclusively from the company's top secret Story Bible, is now available exclusively for the direct market audience. A special 48-page issue that provides readers all the information needed to enjoy the Ultraverse. This is the complete and official guide to the world of Malibu's Ultraverse. By Scott Benefio, Ben Herrera, Rick Hobberg, Jason Rodriguez, cover art Phil Crane, and so the cover art was done by those 4 people, and it was compiled by Phil Crane. The Nightman number 12, Steve Englehart, writer, Dennis Floramonte /Floramonte and Snyder, art, Kyle Hotz, cover art, Firearm number 13, James Robinson, writer, Car/Christian, art, Herrera/Christian, cover art, Mantra number 14, Mike W. Barr, writer, Hike/Welch, art, Brian Hitch, cover art, Giant Size Rune number 1, Ulm and Windsor Smith, writers, Windsor Smith/Floyd, art, Barry Windsor Smith, cover art, Solitaire number 10, Gerard Jones, writer, Parker/Lowe, art, Collins/Holdridge, cover art, Sludge number 11, Steve Gerber, writer, Phipps/Whitting, art, Lopresti/Martin, cover art, The Solution number 13, James Hudnall, writer, Benefiel/Rodriguez, art, Frank Gomez, cover art, and finally Freaks number 13, Gerard Jones, writer, Collins Holdridge, art, and Collins Holdridge, cover art. And that's the end, I think. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be appreciated. If you have any requests you want me to do, just let me know in the comments, and I'll put them on the list I have. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys later.